Hello, everyone. This is Dana from NexGen, and on this beautiful Thanksgiving morning, we're going to be talking about lifestyle transitions and how it fits into your retirement at any age. When we talk about lifestyle transitions, we're talking about a proactive period that is focused on gradually detaching from a career, exploring a new personal identity and purpose, and making financial, social, and physical preparations needed for what happens after work, your life after work. There are about three areas I want to talk about, and the first one is the psychological and emotional transition. So we're going to do a gradual detachment. So you're going to slowly disengage from work-related stress, long-term commitments, and the day-to-day responsibilities. And this includes transferring knowledge to the younger colleagues and adopting a mindset that views retirement as a new chapter rather than ending. So again, we're going to do the gradual detachment. Then we're going to do an identity shift. And this is a major part of the transition, and it involves redefining yourself beyond your career. It's working through the sense of who you are, not just what you've done professionally. For example, when you introduce yourself to people, do you introduce yourself as, or do you think of yourself as a mother, a grandmother, a father, what have you, or do you identify yourself as what your job was? I'm an attorney, I'm a doctor, I'm those types of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an identity shift and go beyond your career. And in doing that, we're going to have to find our purpose. And that means identifying meaningful activities that pretty much give you a reason to get out of bed. And this can include volunteering, part-time work, community involvement, and hobbies that you wanted to do that you'll have more time to do. And in doing this, you're going to be doing what we call emotional preparedness. And it's normal to feel excitement, anxiety, and even a sense of loss. So acknowledging these emotions and planning for the lack of structure that you had at your job, you can follow what we call a honeymoon phase that helps you make the transition smoother. So pretty much get yourself prepared emotionally. The next thing I want to talk about is practical and social adjustments. So the first one is what we call the phased approach. And this is pretty much gradually testing what your future lifestyle is going to look like. So we're looking at reducing work hours, taking longer breaks, and even experimenting with new interests. And this is just before we just totally step away from work. So you may go from full-time to part-time. You may start introducing vacations, those types of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in a phased approach instead of an abrupt end, if you will. And I don't mean to say end, I mean the abrupt change. So now we're going to look into what we call the social rhythms. And this is pretty much because work provides a built-in social interaction. So I can speak for myself. So when I was working, that was pretty much my social group. When I was in the military, that was my social group. So I'm going to be looking to strengthen my relationship with my family and friends and actually building new social circles. And this is going to come through clubs, volunteer work, and community activities. Now, the reason this is so important is because you want to prevent isolation. You don't want to take yourself from a highly social situation in most cases to being by yourself. And this is going to involve communicating with your family. If you have a spouse or a partner, you want to have an open communication with them. and you want to talk about how you're going to change household responsibilities. And what you want to do is you want to do this to prevent any type of friction in the lifestyle choices that you have that you're going to do. And this is going to help with your daily routine change. And I usually see this when spouses that have worked apart, now they're going to be at home, so they don't have any communication about the new dynamic or the new change. So this is best to do it before you retire, to have a communication with your spouse about what your expectations are going into retirement. And also this can involve your housing and your location. And I think we talked about this before. You guys can take a look at, or you can take a look at reevaluating where and how you want to live. You want to look at the options of downsizing, moving closer to your family, or moving away from your family, or relocating to a preferred climate or community. Now, I've seen some people where they would move to a warmer climate or a community where they, for example, the retired military, they would move together where they would be among other retired military or other older people, or people that were in their same period of life, if you will. So those are some things that you can look into. And then last is the financial and health preparation. You want to do a financial stress test, and that entails building a realistic retirement budget that includes both your essential and discretionary expenses. And this goes along with long-term care and healthcare costs. So your budget is going to look a little different in retirement than it did when you were working full-time or part-time, if you will. So you want to make sure that it's a realistic budget. And you want to do this before you actually leave the workplace. And if you have debt, you want to actually go into paying down high interest debt. Preferably, this includes a mortgage. And this could help reduce the financial pressure and also free up income during your retirement. Because you retire, I can tell you this from personal experience, you'll have a new set of expenses. So what you want to do is you want to take care of the high interest debt and the mortgage before you go into retirement. That, of course, that is my personal opinion. And of course, we have the healthcare planning, and that for some people, they may continue with their employer's healthcare plan even after they retire. So you want to make sure you get information about that. And if applicable, you may be doing the transition to Medicare. And then you also want to take a look at any supplemental coverage options that you may have. So healthcare planning is also very important. And with that, you want to prioritize your wellness. So you want to recommit to physical and mental health through exercise, preventative medical and dental care, changing to healthier habits if you need to, and recognizing that good health is essential to enjoying your retirement. So these are just a few options that I have for you when we are doing a lifestyle transition before retirement. Thank you for stopping by, and I will have additional information in the description below. So if you have any comments, feel free to add them, especially those that have already retired. Definitely share your experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. Thank you again, and have a fantastic Thanksgiving.